There we go. Hey guys. Okay, figure this out. Boom. All right. Hey, what's up, me? How's the sound today? All right, here we go. Looks like we're good. Yeah, I got some music going. Hopefully it's not too annoying. Let me know if it is. All right. So how you guys doing? Sounds good? Okay, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, no, I had some technical difficulties when I was streaming for my students this week. I raised my desk and it unplugged my mixer board. Just anyway, total user error. But hey, what can you do? All right. Hey, what's up, Gary? How's it going? All right. Okay, so this bird is original concept done by Mitch. I don't know if I can pronounce it correctly, but it's Leeuwe, I think. So Mitch Leeuwe, he's on Instagram. Let me find him, and I'll post it up. No. There we go. There it is. Okay, I'll post it. Yeah, plug it in, keep going. Okay, there's Mitch. How's it going, Neil? Thank you very much. Okay, should we get this train rolling? Anyway, Mitch has some phenomenal character designs, and I wanted to pick this one. It's not a human, right? It's a cartoon character, really fun. So, and some of my students were asking me, how do you do kind of a cartoon character with some complex shapes? And I think this guy has some complex shapes happening, so I figured I could build him in the stream. If you guys don't oppose. Oh, just waiting for your Twitch to start working? All right, here we go. So, as usual, just start with a sphere. I typically start with the head or the hips or even the waist, depends, like on the pelvis. On this guy, I'm probably going to start with his head and then build out his body. So let's do that. All right, I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Hey Fong, how's it going? I'm glad you could make it today. All right. Let me know if this music is annoying. I don't know if you can even hear it very well. Okay. Because it's that free kind of house music, you know. Okay, let's see. So for this guy, I'm going to do what I usually do and subdivide the sphere once. And then I'm going to go delete that lower subdivision level. Andy, it does, but it does not work with ZBrush Core, I'm afraid. I'm sorry for that. ZBrush Core does not allow any third-party anything, so it's just kind of the core, ZBrush Core of anything. You guys can't hear that music? It's, I'll turn it up a little bit more. It's really quiet right now. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this guy is he's kind of a sphere, but he's got some interesting things happening. Like he has this ledge, this plane change on the back of his head, which kind of signifies a flatter bottom of the head. And how's it going, Dan? From Belgium, how's it going? Okay, let's turn symmetry on. And I'm just going to push these eyes in. It's almost like you're pinching the sphere like this. Because his beak's going to rest in this area. I wonder if I could do a search on this thing. I don't know. This... I don't know. Okay, well, it is what it is. Okay. I was just messing with my music for a minute. Seems like every song that comes on is like this house beat with a drop. Like this build up. Hey Yuri, the workshop is going to start again very shortly actually. I'm going to do a webinar pretty soon, I think, and then start it up soon. Thanks for the question. Oh, hey, what's up, Shane? Oh, he gets to watch me work? Awesome. Well, welcome. How's it going, William? Okay, so I'm going to use the pinch brush. I'm just going to pinch along the back edge of this. But I got to make sure my spotlight projection's turned off. If your brushes don't work in the viewport, always, and you have a reference up like this, always make sure you check your spotlight projection. So I'm just working on that change of direction on the back of his head. And then I'm just going to smooth this down to make it flatter. So from the side, it's pretty flat. But it's not completely flat. I'm not going to use the clip brush to clip it off, you know? Okay, and then I kind of want it a little narrower and a little taller. So I can just show my gizmo and just scale it down and scale it up like this. And maybe in this direction a little bit. Oh, great. That's nice to hear. Thanks, Yuri. Hey, Carlos. Doing great, my friend. Okay. So that's a decent start, and I'm sure I'll adjust it as I go. But that's happy with that. Now I'm gonna slap the beak on the front of his face. And I'll just, like I do with everything, I'll just start with a sphere. I think I might want more detail than that, so I'll pick the next one over. There we go. So, somebody's asking about my brushes. Yes, my brushes come with these primitive shapes, and these first four are just different levels of subdivision when it comes to a sphere. So they're just spheres with different levels of subdivision. And then I have two cubes, a cylinder, and the cylinder is a quad cylinder, meaning it has it doesn't have poles on the top and bottom. It has quads, and then this appendage is just an elongated sphere with some extra loops in the middle. That's pretty much all it is. This is Mitch Leeuwe. So I think Neil is posting some links. But you spell his last name Leeuwe, and he has some fantastic characters. Really, really fun. And Mitch, I think Mitch might be watching today. He said he was going to stop by. And I'm actually doing a collaboration with Mitch for a new piece of the course. So if you guys, some of my students are in here today. If you know about the head course, the mini bust course, I'm going to redo that, and I'm going to redo it, make it actually much bigger, and I'm going to include some stylized anatomy lessons in there with it. So I'm also going to collaborate with Mitch on that. So really excited. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to make this beak into two parts and then combine it together. So this is the top piece. Okay, and I'm just gonna, I want to get this this swoopy shape going on there, like this, whoop. And then what you can do is you can come by or you can come down here and just kind of push in to make that inside of the beak. What am I making? I'm making a parrot that sails a ship, apparently. And this is his beak. Okay, so I'm going to use this pinch brush and just go along the outside edge just to start to define where that's going to be. Okay, then you can come on top of that and just kind of smooth it down so it doesn't go in so much. And then you can even come in on the inside of that and make kind of a ridge. Okay, Alex, texturing stylized. I never know when to stop detail texturing and then always end up over-saturating with details. I think I'm a good modeler sculptor, but I crap work on the textures. Yeah, it's easy to do because it's fun. So basically, you kind of just follow the concept. If you have a concept, and you just kind of stick to that. For example, this guy isn't very heavy on textures. He's got a little bit here and there. Like he has a little detail on his beak, on his hat, on his turtleneck here. There's a little bit on each foot, and maybe a line around the bottom of the sweater and where the sleeve connects to the sweater. So there's not very many details at all. So I mean, you don't have to sit and add details just to make a better sculpt. There's something to be said about subtlety. Okay. I don't know about this music. Okay, let me just fast forward this thing. Okay. Alex, sometimes, yeah. I usually give my feedback on sculpts that are closer to being finished, because it's just, I can cover a lot more ground rather than, like, you know, every single step of the way. Yeah, I might just turn the music off. We'll see. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is just grab another sphere and stick it in on the bottom. All right. Let's just fade this on out. All right. Okay. I wish I could listen to my music. I'd be listening to like 80s synth, probably. Like Howard Jones and Thompson Twins and stuff like that. That's my kind of music. Okay. Well, thanks, Ian. The Backyardigans, yeah, true. True. Although, man, I have a hard time watching the Backyardigans, honestly. Because I'm an animator. Well, I was an animator in a past life, I guess. And the animations in that show just make me cringe. I apologize if anybody from that show is watching today. But it works for what it is, I suppose. Well, thanks, Yuri. I appreciate it. Yeah, saxophone. Like Wham, right? Okay. So now what we need to do is get that smile hook happening. I'm building the beak outside of the head on purpose, but we're gonna try and start pulling it in now, and I'm gonna make it into its own subtool. So what I'm gonna do is mask this off and then split it. So let's do a split unmask points. Now it's in its own subtool. Let's see. Gonna make sure we're on it. There we go. Yeah, wham. Oh, no worries, Neil. Yeah, it was it was one of your better ones, man. I know. Yeah, it was one of. So, yeah, it's kind of hard. Neil, I was going to talk to you about. I want to show you, on your eyes. I'm going to make this guy's eyes. I think the biggest thing on your characters is the eyes that you don't want to make eyes that are actually the same size as the eye socket you're trying to put it in. You actually want to make the eyeball bigger and then have the eyeball peek out of the eye socket, you know, instead of like bulging sitting on top of the head like a I don't know, like a frog or something. You want them to be down inside, so they almost are inside the surface. Well, they are inside the surface, but they don't stick out too much. Yeah, I'll show you on this guy. And I think that will improve your sculpts quite a bit. Get you leveled up. Okay. So now what we can do, since we have the pieces inside two separate subtools, we can turn on this transparency, which is really nice. And then we can start to pull and shape this mouth to fit. So I'm just going to try and pull it around and back like this to match kind of that corner of that mouth. And then I'm going to turn on topological, so I only affect the bottom piece and not the top one. And then I can snug it right in there, because I'm going to combine the two of these. And then, oh, hey, Corinne, I'm glad you popped in, because I still need to answer your email. I'm not ignoring you. I'm sorry about that. Oh, it's just been a crazy week. Crazy 2 weeks, I guess. But thanks for the questions. And just really quick, Corinne, stay away from that gig. You don't need that. Yeah, you are right to follow your gut. Again, this concept was done by Mitch Leeuwe. I don't know if I'm saying that absolutely correctly. Now I've noticed a problem that is not working, and that is, let me show you. So in the concept, what there is this beak goes right into his head, just like that, right? So on the top of his head, I'm specifically talking about right here, okay? And mine, right now, it goes like 2 bumps, right? It has these 2 bumps like this. And so right here, it's not flowing into the head, so I gotta fix that. Yeah, Corinne, I just say, you know, when you have the funds, I'm ready if you want my help. I mean, you just gotta kind of be upfront and honest about it. That kind of goes for everyone that's wanting to, if you're barely starting to get into this industry, the game industry or modeling in general, and somebody sees your work on, say, on ArtStation or something like that, and then they're like, hey, I have this amazing idea for this game, and I want you to model my characters. And then they're like, but can you model them for free for now, and then if the game does awesome, then I'll pay you? You just need to stay away from that. Don't even, even if you're just beginning and you're like, but I need the work, I need the exposure, I need the experience, you know? So, so just stay away from that as far as you can stay away, because you're not doing the industry any favors, and you're not doing yourself any favors. Because this is a fantasy land. That's pretty funny. Okay. Sorry, somebody's asking me a question. Talking to Kyle really quick. Yes, Alex, that's a good point. So contests are a little trickier because there are some legit contests and there are some fake contests, and it's hard to discern between the two, right? So legit contests are like the ones that are not going to use the art after it's done for anything else. For example, ArtStation, fantastic. Those contests, great. Do they get you exposure? Yes. There's some exposure that you actually want and other exposure you don't because you can't pay the bills with it. But exposure that you get from, say, like ZBrush, that contest, or ArtStation, or, you know, there's just a few out there that are good that aren't going to use your artwork after it's over. So like there's companies that they don't want to pay for your models. So they're just like, hey, let's just have a contest. And then we don't have to pay for any of them. We just say, you know, they'll give out some silly prize or something at the end. And then what they get is your artwork for free, right? Because there's only one winner. Especially it's like, you know, there's a character contest where you need all these characters and we don't want to pay for them. So we're going to have a contest. Yeah, just stay away from that kind of stuff. Okay, we're gonna ZRemesh this because the polygons are breaking down right here. Oh, you have Babu. I'm sorry. Yep, it never works out. It just never works out. You know. Even 25%. It's not. I would ask for 50. You know, if it's a sketchy gig, if it's sketchy, if you think they're not you're never gonna hear from them again, ask for 50 or more. I would. Okay, even if you're starting out and you feel like, oh, I'm just starting out, I don't have that kind of clout to ask for that. Well, do. Ask for it, because if they're serious, then they'll do it. Okay, I'm just going to ZRemesh this really quick at 1. Might be too low. Ah, it's not bad. Okay. So there we go. Problem fixed. Yeah, and it's even, there's some that aren't even scammy. They're like students that their intentions are good, you know. It's like, hey, I have this idea for this game, but I can't afford it. So how am I going to get people to make some characters, right? So there's some that are legit good intentions, you know, but there's some that are sketchy. If it's a company asking you, like, do a logo or something, I know that's not a character, but it happens in graphic design as well. It's like, you know. But if it's a student, and if you're in it together, and you're like, you're a student and they're a student, and they're like, hey, I want to do this game. Do you want to try and do this with me? You kind of have to be bought into the idea, and you have to have the time, you know, and you have to be like, okay, we're in this together. Since you're not paying me, I'm going to be part of this kind of a thing, you know? So I'm just pulling this, this is the head that I'm just pulling into the mouth here. Okay. They're not necessarily bad. It's just, I mean, there are even websites like Artella. That was started by the animation mentor guys, and that one's legit. Just people hooking up with other people of several different skills, wanting to work together on a project, just for their passion and just to fill their art bucket is what I call it. You know, all of us artists have an art bucket that needs to be filled. Whether with personal art or professional art or whatever, we just need to keep creating and keep building and keep getting better, right? Sometimes you do it at home after work if you're not working a creative job, or sometimes you're lucky enough to, you know, get enough of that art at work that you're filling up your personal art bucket at work. But you know, everybody needs that art to keep going and getting better. So it's a good idea to, you can join those things if you have the time and the passion, because you can't do it all by yourself. If you're wanting to make a game, there's no way you're gonna, I mean, you can, but it's more difficult unless you're making like Minecraft or something and you just have all the time in the world. But that's very, very rare. So what you do is you get together with a bunch of like-minded people and try to make a game. And you're like, okay, I'm going to do the character, you can do the animation, you can do the rigging, you know, that kind of stuff. So if you find a project like that, that's different than a contest, right? That's something that you can legit be a part of and actually get something out of it. Okay, I'm just running my pinch brush along the edge here. I'm going to combine these now and ZRemesh it before I get too far. So I can hook this, so I can get this curve around the back side of his mouth before I go too much further. Let's solo this so you can see. Okay, it's all connecting. I don't want to just connect it at the cheek and then leave an open hole back here. I want to connect the whole thing. So now what I'm going to do is go to here and say remesh by union and accept. And what that does is that just stitches the inside right there. You can see the stitching all along the back, but it doesn't recreate the mesh. So I should save this before too long. Okay. Twitch. Mitch Bird. Okay. So now that I have this, I can duplicate it because I'm doing I should have duplicated it before I did the stitching. But I'm going to duplicate this, hide the original, and then ZRemesh it. And let's go to 2 and see what that does. Okay, I didn't have symmetry on. Let me undo that and do it one more time. Okay, that's not bad. So now you can see that the flow isn't that great around this cheek corner. So what I'm going to do is just kind of smooth this out now that I have it combined and just get it a little better. Hey Robo, I can't look at it during my stream, but you can send it to me to take a look if you want. At shane.olson@3dcharacterworkshop.com. If I have time, I'll definitely take a look and give you a bit of feedback. Okay, so since I want the flow going around this corner, what I can do is I can pinch it because ZRemesher likes to follow geometry that either is a peak or a valley. So I can make it peaked right here. And run that peak around this corner and down. But I don't want it to be pinched back here. So I want it to go around here. So it's going to look weird for a minute until I ZRemesh it. Then I can just continue to run that peak along the edge right here. Okay. And it will most likely work around here, but I'm just going to pinch it anyway. Okay. So let's try it again. ZRemesher. Okay. There we go. Now it's gathering a lot of geometry in here. Let me undo that because I want to run a pinch along here as well, and I'll pull that back because I'm not getting the flow that I want around here because I want it to just follow this flow. It's not happening, so sometimes you just have to muscle it, you know? Okay, I'm going to go back down to 1 and try it. Yeah, okay, maybe 2. Okay, that's going to work. That'll have to work. I can live with that. It's not the best, but it's working. Okay, let's see. Well, thanks, Neil. Yeah, core comes with primitives for sure. It just doesn't have. Yeah, it has plenty of stuff that you can work with. It just doesn't have my primitives, and that's okay. You don't have to have my primitives to make that work. And Core does not have ZRemesher, but it does have Dynamesh. Okay. So I'm going to bring this way down. Let's turn on smooth just so we can see it. Shoveless, I'm not. I'm just creating a high resolution mesh. I can make this animatable, but I would have to take it into a different program to retopologize it, to make it animation ready. So right now I'm just making a high resolution sculpt that I would render or 3D print or something like that, or make a game resolution animatable character from it. There we go. Okay, now the back of his head is a bit too far back, so I'm going to bring it forward. Hey, what's up, Francis? Okay. And he needs to kind of see through the front of his beak. That's why I'm pushing his beak in, because I want him to, you know, kind of function so you can see his eyes from the front. Okay, that being said, let's get his eyes in there. Oh, hey. Hey, William, yes, I do. I play it with my kids. And the lighting is great in there, yeah. Okay. I like the variety of characters with that game, too. Okay, so his eyes are gigantic. So, Neil, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, so let me just show you. So the characters you've been doing lately are kind of like, they're kind of sunken in kind of like that, right? And then you do the eyelid and everything. So what I was talking about is make them larger and sink them in their in the head more, like this. So they're barely peeking out. Like that. Then you kind of get them sort of in place, and then you can put them in a different subtool. So we can do split unmasked points. And then, sorry to call you out, Neil. I just wanted to get your attention to see, so I can show you what I'm talking about. Whoops. And then just, you can, then to shape the eye, you shape the head. So you're not actually moving the shape of the eye around. The eye stays spherical inside the head. All you have to do is move the head around the eye to get that shape. Is 3 million polys for a human character? Oh, good for a human character? Hey, Vector, you're absolutely correct. Yeah, it's eyes are difficult. I'm just gonna say that right now. Eyes are difficult. Okay. Let's see. I need to adjust the back of this head. It's bugging. It's sticking too far out there. It's wider than it is deep. So it's just a matter of just kind of nudging and tuning and nudging and tuning. Okay, from the front, it's pretty good. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is make the eyelids. So I'll go back to the eye and then duplicate that. Then what you can do is use the clip curve brush and you clip it like this. Okay, and then you have kind of this eyelid like this. And you can see that the eyes are actually inside the head. They're overlapping each other, and that's okay. No problem. It happens often with stylized characters. Let's see. I want to kind of put this in the middle so I can crank it upwards. And then I'm going to kind of warp it. So it's not going to be an eyelid that actually animates perfectly around that eye. We're just going to stick it in there for the high res. So somebody's saying, is 3 million? Are you talking about 3 million is okay for the high res? It's actually kind of low. It depends on how detailed your character is. So you just want enough geometry in there to describe the detail with your high resolution model. There's no set number. You don't want to go crazy high with it, because that's just a machine limitation more than a how high do you want to go with your model kind of a thing. So this guy's looking angry. I'm using inflate and just kind of, it's getting pretty thin through here on the inside. So I'm just going to inflate it back. But I'm just looking for that eyelid to wrap around, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect it with the head and merge it together, merge it in there. And I'm looking for thick to thin, so I want it to be thickest on the top and then go to thin to gone, like this. Hey, what's up, Ken? How you doing, man? Yeah, 15 million is about where mine end up at the end. Hold on a second. I got to keep moving I'm standing on a squishy mat and I have to move it because it keeps sliding. I don't know why it's sliding. It's not like I'm walking around on it. Just softening this up a little bit. Okay, pretty happy with that. And then I want this this head to be higher res again. So I'm going to subdivide it once, turn dynamic off, and then delete lower so I have more resolution, because I wasn't quite getting the eye shape across the bottom that I wanted. See, it has two peaks to it. It has 2 points. There's a point right here. Can you see that point? And then it's kind of straight, and then there's a point right here. And I'm not getting that. It's just round on the bottom of my eye. So I need to pull this out so I can get the points. But I didn't have enough geometry to do it. So I just subdivided it. And I still don't know if I'm going to have enough, but we'll see. And I can also do another, I can put a lower eyelid on there, which I might. I got to make sure that the eye is tall enough, not just wide enough. And cartoon eyes are a little different than human eyes. Human eyes are way more difficult to get correct because they have a lot more going on. Okay, so, and I can also go into Sculptress mode at this point if I want to, and just get more detail where I need it. But I think I might do a ZRemesher and just pull it in. Seagull Rush? It depends on the character, honestly. If it's going to be something like that cowboy riding the dinosaur, then absolutely, it'll go that high. But that's 2 characters in one. I'd have to open up my Pirate Girl to see how many polys she ended up being, but I'm pretty sure she's up there. Okay, so I'm gonna pull. I want to pull this in because, like I said, ZRemesher will follow the peaks of your mesh. So what I want to do is push this geometry in and then make it peak where I want it to peak. So right along this eye right here. It'll look weird for a minute. Okay, so I just wanted kind of a guide. So see, if I peek this around like this, hopefully ZRemesher is going to follow that. So let's try it. I'm going to save it first. Okay, let's try it. Yep, okay. It's not the most beautiful thing, but it worked. Now I can just smooth out the interior of that eye socket, not that you'll ever see it. Now I have more geometry to do what I need. And I can push this geometry to kind of match that eyelid again, because I kind of messed it up. But that's why I try to get my ZRemesher to flow around my eyes and my mouth and my nose, because it's just, it helps me get that clean edge and it helps me shape the eye how I want it. And I can also come in here and pinch it again. Just right along that eye. That's why I leave my wireframe showing a lot of the times, because I want to see what the mesh is doing and what I have to work with. And then I can actually push this in underneath and create a, I can create the lower eyelid just with the geometry here. See that? I don't have to actually physically put in a real eyelid. I can probably do it with the top as well. That's what I used to do. What's up, Jake? No, you don't. Ask my kids. All right, I'm trying to get this to just match the circular flow. Because what my choice is right now, this is what's in my head. I can either ZRemesh this again and stitch that eyelid that I built into it, or I can just resculpt the head around the eye right in this area and just kind of rebuild this eyelid that I have, which is kind of the direction I'm going right now because I can do it pretty quickly. And it's kind of a gamble with ZRemesher. You don't always know what you're going to get. So I'm just going to kind of go in here. Whoa. And I'm going to pick a different material so I can actually see what's happening better. And then go like this. This is still just with the pinch brush. I'm just pushing it in. And it's kind of difficult with pinch because pinch doesn't play well with neighbors because it's pinching. It's actually like displacing the geometry and pulling it. So if I get too close, it's going to mess it up. So I just need to be careful. Okay, let's hide that sphere. Yeah, ZRemeshing is like a box of chocolates. Never know what you're going to get. Okay. It's a little messy. Let's get in here and just smooth this out. These are, William actually worked on a lot of these characters back here. And I didn't work on any of the amiibos. So that's why I have them back there. I worked for Disney Interactive for 10 years. I should put my little plaque back there. Okay. Now, you can see it has kind of a natural ridge line happening up here. And that's exactly where this darker purple is. So I kind of want to pull that out. Smooth it back down. Yeah, so I kind of have that effect on people. You're like, what? You wake up, what? Where am I? What am I wearing? Whose clothes are these? Getting some warbles going on. Oh, Stitch? Nope, my friend Ian Jacobs did Stitch, I believe. You can check out Ian's art station. Okay. Let's pop him up here and see how close we are. Looks like his beak's a little too deep or too long. Let's fix that. Okay, that's not gonna work. I just need to move the end. There we go. Now it's curving a little sharp. Sometimes when you ZRemesh, it leaves this ledge in the set down the middle, so you have to go in there and smooth it out. Okay, let's close his mouth. Oops, didn't get it all. Okay. Something like that, and then I'll have to adjust his head to match. And while I have this masked, I can just kind of close this up like this. Okay. A little too pointy? Oh yeah, you're right. Too pointy. Maybe he likes cans. Here, let me go back to where I had it masked and invert that mask, and I'm going to show you something, kind of a little trick you can do. So what I can do is get this clip curve brush, and you can go along here. And then if you're as you're dragging this out, if you hit Alt on the peak of a curve, you can run it like this, and then peak the curve again. And so now I can nip the tip of that beak off like that, and that'll make a really nice edge there that I can just smooth right out. There we go. Then looks like he has a bigger smile. Pull this down. This is really tricky. Tricky. Okay. Let me adjust the head so it's not overlapping so much. I'm just going to smooth that down quickly and move it up with the move brush. Let's switch back to a better material now. Probably zero gray. Yeah. Skin shade. Skin shade is my favorite. Skin shade 4. I love it. Even though you can't see all of your surface details with skin shade, it's still my favorite. Just because it's white and I can see the silhouette better. Okay, let's go back to here and pull this out. I probably went too far with this. So let's get the inflate and bring it back. And smooth it down. Something like that. Okay, let's check it again. It looks like I have it too. This is a tricky one. Tricky, tricky. Can also come in here and inflate this cheek bit. That helps sometimes. All right. Hey, we're doing pretty good today. We're almost at 200 people watching. Thanks for watching me today, you guys. Hanging out on your Monday afternoon. Always a pleasure. Okay, let's pull this in. I keep seeing things and I just keep tweaking and moving and okay. It's gonna take me, it's almost taking me an hour just for this head. That's pretty crazy. Usually it doesn't take me that long. What's up, Jimmy? Okay. Aw, Tenchi. Thanks, man. Okay, let's see. What do we got? What do we got? I'm gonna bring his chin way up underneath to kind of capture that flow. There we go. That's better. Less unhappy. I don't know what that means. I can't look at models during my stream is all. Yeah, and it just depends on how busy I am at the time. But just send them to shane.olson@3dcharacterworkshop.com, and if I have time, I'd be happy to take a look. I'm not unhappy about it. Oh, thanks. Okay. I know I make it look so easy. I apologize for that, honestly. And I'm not being facetious. I'm serious. It comes down to just the experience, you know, and what I've done before. And if I was just talking to my students the other day about this. Just because it doesn't take me very long to do it. Don't feel bad about if it takes you longer. It should, honestly, it should. It's like, yeah, don't sit and like go over in your head like, man, this only took Shane like an hour to do. Why is it taking me 5 hours? It's because you're learning or just starting out or just, you know, take the time and just, you know, keep looking at it and keep trying to figure it out. And sometimes there are characters that still take me a really long time. They're more often than not, actually. And yeah, and I get just as much feedback from art directors and stuff, so it's not just like only I can do it, you know. It's not magic. It's just the eye, having the eye and knowing kind of what to do when. Now, always look at it at 3/4 view, too. Not just from the front, not just from the side. But like right here, it was looking a little flat, curving down this beak. So I wanted to get a better curvature heading down there. And look at it coming up and tucking up underneath. That's a lie. Yep. Just push it. Where's that button? I want to know where that button is. I just started. I'm so fast. Why are you so slow? His eyelid's a little too big. Just working my way around. And then I'll give him an eyebrow and eyelids. And also, see how this has this whoop in it? Gotta fix that. Every time I say whoop, I think of the genie from Aladdin. Whoop. Has this little whoop. When he's acting like Pinocchio with his lying nose. Pretty hilarious. Dang it, Robin Williams. Yep, dry otter, that is a really good way to go. Like, are you making... Another good thing is you can ask yourself, and that's why I save all the time so I can always go back, is are your changes that you're making moving your character forward or laterally? So is it just different, but it's not getting any better? It's just like different this way or different that way? Or actually, are you making progress? As long as you're making progress, you're doing what you should be doing. And another big thing is don't be afraid to make big changes. That's another thing that my students get hung up on, is like they've worked so long and so hard on their model that they don't want to make big changes. And sometimes it's the big changes that'll make the biggest difference in if it's going to look correct or not. You know, don't be married to it. And if you're really that afraid of it, then save off a new version and then try it. Then you're not ruining anything. You're just experimenting. Is ZBrush better than Cinema 4D? It's just different. This is a sculpting program. It's not other programs like Maya, 3D Studio Max, and stuff like that. Those are like animation programs. You can model in them, but they're not sculpting programs. This is a sculpting program. So this is for creating your high resolution characters. So it's like you can't really compare the two because they don't do the same thing. Okay. All right, let's finally build his body. And then we'll come back after the body is built and see if there's things that I need to change. Do you use it for 3D print? Yes. So, for example, I printed this girl out. Let me see if I can show you. See this pirate girl? So this is a 3D print of a model that I made during this live stream last, wait, was it 2 years ago? Has it been that long? 2 years ago? Then I did this one. Here, I'll pull him out of the base. I did this one last year. This cowboy riding this dinosaur. He turned out pretty good. And I did that one during the stream as well. And you can watch all of those past streams by going to ZBrush Live or the Pixelogix YouTube channel and watching them all back. They're all there. So, okay. Yuri, so it's normal when you are in ZBrush for 6 weeks, you get frustrated and close the program. This week I was almost trying out my piece, throwing your PC out the window. That happens. It totally happens. For sure. Print models need to be mid, low poly, or can they be high poly? So I start high poly, but then you use a plugin for ZBrush called Decimation Master. You have to Dynamesh it so everything is watertight first. And so Dynamesh, you can read about Dynamesh. That will merge all your models and get rid of all the interior geometry. And then you use Decimation Master, which will actually reduce your model to almost, it's like a few thousand polys is all. And that is what you send to the printer. So, hope that answers your question. What printer? Form 2. So from Formlabs, Form 2. Love that printer. Okay, let's do the body. I got to kind of envision where that neck is going to be in there. I kind of want to do, it sounds weird, but I kind of want to do some Sculptress Pro for those legs because it's almost like, they're almost snake hooks, right? You just snake hook them down and pull them off there. I might do that. If I had to guess, spotlight projection being on by default causes 6 out of 10 rage quits. Absolute. There should be like an alarm. It's like projection on, projection on. If you guys don't know what he's talking about, if you're using a ref like this in Spotlight, so this is Spotlight, and I can have an image floating here, but you have to turn off. See the spotlight projection right here? Right here, you have to turn that off in order for all of your brushes to work other than move. Move is the only one that works. So you're using your move brush. You're thinking you're doing awesome. Then you switch to like a pinch brush and then all of a sudden it doesn't work and you're like, why isn't my pinch brush working? Oh yeah, Ashley, I forgot. Oh, crazy. I don't know, she'll probably show up later if I say it. Why won't it grab? Oh, because it's masked off. Okay. I'm going to split this off. Split down mask points. There we go. And let's play with Sculptress Pro, shall we? Yeah, Dan, snake hook. See if she'll show up. I'm using it. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about what does Sculptress Pro use. You just press Z to turn off spotlight projection without going into... What? No. That will turn off spotlight, the wheel, but that won't turn off spotlight projection. So spotlight projection is the functionality of it. So when it's actually... It was originally built to be able to stamp an image down onto the surface of your character. That's the default way that Spotlight works. But what you need to do is turn that functionality off, and that's what Spotlight projection is right here. So you find that, I'm trying to remember where you find it. Let me see. Okay, it's under Brush, Samples, Spotlight Projection. So if you go under the Brush menu, under Samples, it's right here. So if you don't have a user interface like this one that actually brings it to the surface, it's kind of hard to find because it's buried down in the Brush Samples menu. But that's where it is. So you want to have that turned off. Otherwise, it's just not, your brushes won't work. Okay, so I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to turn dynamic off. Yeah, Shawnee, that only turns off the ring. You know, it turns spotlight off, but not spotlight projection off. So very similar, but not quite. Okay, I just want to get a little more geometry on this guy because if I pull it down like this, you can see that it creates all these bigger triangles all the way around the edge. And I don't want that. I want to start with more polys. So I'm just going to hit Control D to subdivide, and then I'm going to hit Delete Lower, which you'll see will increase the density of this. Okay, and now try to pull these legs out. And it just gives a better border to work from. And that's too far back. So let's see if I can do this. Ah, gosh dang. I can't get the perfect angle. It's probably going to be too... Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. Because I love how his... Oh, not that. That's not what I want. Select lasso. Okay, I love this line of action that's happening right here. And I typically don't model my characters in a pose, but since this guy has this pose, I'm probably going to model his arms out and then bring him up in, but I'm going to make him leaning like he's leaning. So, because I like it so much. All right. And Sculptress Pro works based off of how large your brush is. You can turn it off. You can turn off that functionality, but I kind of like it. So I'm just going to get to the angle where I can see, and I'm going to pull it off this way. It's good. I don't know if this is going to work very well or not. I think what I would rather do, because I like the flow that's happening now, but I think I'm going to be done with Sculptress Pro mode and just block in these feet like I normally would. So you just, when you're doing this kind of stuff, you just want to use the tool that's best for the job. I mean, I could struggle with Sculptress Pro and kind of do, you know, to make it work, but I'm trying to decide if I want to. So what I can do is turn Sculptress Pro mode off and then just ZRemesh this. Let's see, it's 5. Let's go to 2. There we go. What Shift Z turns it off completely, and I still want to view it, but I don't want to turn it off. I just want to turn off the projection part of it. But good suggestions though, you guys. I'm not trying to like say nuh-uh. I'm just telling you why you want to turn spotlight projection off. And a lot of people use different stuff for their resolution or for their references. What's that called? Easy Res or Easy Ref? What is it called? Something ref. I typically use Spotlight, so I don't use that. But a lot of people do. Pure Ref, that's what it's called. Pure Ref. Yep, a lot of people use Pure Ref. The reason I like to use Spotlight, and I've talked to you guys about it before, is I like to be able to sample colors from this, because I can sample the colors right off of this image, and I can do the opacity right here, and I can have multiple images and float it over here like this, and just kind of test it and, you know, see. You can do that with Pure Ref as well, but it's just I just really like having it right here in the viewport. And I can put several images right here in the viewport and sample colors off of them and doing all that kind of stuff. So, okay. Anyway, just personal preference. Okay. I still need to try that, me. I still need to try that. I'm bad for not having tried it. Okay. Whoops. So maybe I'll be convinced to use Pure Ref. If that's the case. That's cool. Okay, so I'm gonna put his feet on, block him out, just like I do everything else, just with a sphere. That's cool. I'll have to check it out. Hey, what's up, Meberry? Okay. Hey, we broke the 200. We're at 205 people. Awesome. Okay, I'm going to exaggerate his feet really quick so I can do a ZRemesher on them. And I also want to curve them, so I'm going to use that transpose line trick. Just drag the transpose line and bend them. Let's see. Ooh, push it out past. Oh man, I didn't mean to do that. I wish you could undo transpose line. Okay. Bend. Right, NLT. Everybody drink. There we go. Okay. Taco Knot. Hey, what's up, man? Welcome, welcome. Great name. Okay, let's see. All right, I'm going to combine these two together. Got to reset my gizmo. When you are doing regular work, do you still glance over at the chat window? Honestly, I might. I might. I do glance at my reference a lot. So sometimes I'll have like one reference here and then I'll have a bunch of reference on my second monitor. So it's kind of funny. Oh man, it dropped to 199. Go get your friend, hurry. I still have yet to beat that one day that I had over 300 for some reason. I don't know I can't remember if I got invaded or not. Anyway. Okay, remesh by union, stitch it together, accept. There we go. We got it all stitched down here. And let's ZRemesh that at 3 maybe. Try 3. And I forgot to turn on symmetry. And do I still talk to myself? I probably do. Okay, that's doing some weirdness right there. All right, let's try it again. And I'm gonna offset, turn on back face masking because I don't want it to mess with the back, but I want to, there's probably not enough geometry right here. I wanted to peek out these toes, meaning, let's subdivide it once, kill that subdivision level so I actually have more. If you ever run out of geometry and you need more to do whatever you're going to do, just subdivide it and then delete it. Okay. There we go. Then I can push it down in between like this. I'm just trying to get that ZRemesher to follow the contours. Ugly feet right now. Ugly feet. Let's try that. Okay, that's a little better. A little better, a little better. Yeah, this reference is done by Mitch Leeuwe. If you want to check out his stuff, he's amazing. What's crazy about Mitch is he thinks like me when it comes to blocking out characters. But he's a 2D artist. When I say thinks like me, we both learned from Preston Blair, which blocked out characters like that at Disney and stuff like that. Hey, there she is. How's it going, Ash? How you doing? I'm making a parrot. And guess how I made these legs? Snake hook. with Sculptress Pro. I know, right? Mitch is amazing. He's from, I want to say he's from the Netherlands. All right. Duck feet. Ooh ha ha. Okay. There we go. Hey, what's up, Daniel? How's it going? All right. So let's see. I'm trying to figure out how to block out his his wings. I'm going to show you guys. Mitch actually has done a turnaround for this guy, but personally I don't like turns because they kind of take the energy out of a drawing. I forgot his neck. Oh no, what am I going to do? I'll put his neck in with a turtleneck. I'll put the turtleneck in over it so it'll fill in that gap. But he's got, let's see. This is Instagram. Let me show you the turn. See this? So he did a fantastic job with this turn. And you can kind of see what it looks like. He actually peeked out this beak, which I didn't do, so I might do that. But he has him in all these different poses. Really cool. You know what's crazy is anytime I pull up a web page, I don't know if this happens to you, Ash, or not, but every time I pull up a web page like this, Facebook will make that my thumbnail or something. Like, because it stayed this image for the entire video, and then I pull up something different, and it'll say, oh, that looks different. Let's make that the thumbnail. Like their algorithm or something. It's a pain in the butt. He kind of looks like he's got frog feet. All right, I'm gonna peek this this beak. Peek the beak. Looking through the telescope. Yeah, I might. That's why I'm gonna make him be in an A pose or a neutral pose. Then I can pose him a couple of different ways. I'm gonna show you. Just pull up a page of your ArtStation. There you go. That's a good idea. Did I close it? Okay. So there's also he has a ship. So check this out. These are initial ship designs. What's really cool about this, I love the stumpy one, but he made the front of it like a beak, and it opens up and it has a cannon inside. So it's like this this little tugboat, you know, that's all just kind of, it's like a fishing boat. It's like non-conspicuous, and all of a sudden it opens up and there's a cannon and it shoots you. So that's kind of fun. Let me see if there's more. And he's kind of part of this whole thing. See, he's right here, part of this whole fishing storyline. It's really cool. There's some more facial expressions, and the eyeball is really nice. Oh, here we go. So there's a really cool boat. I might even model this in ZBrush. Would you guys like to see me try and model a boat in ZBrush? That'd be kind of fun, using the Z modeler. You guys can watch me struggle. There's the back of it, swabbing the poop deck. Oh my! Sometimes my keyboard tray, the screws on the bottom will come loose. They'll start squeaking. Drives me crazy. Okay. Let's get that out of the way. Yeah, if I'm feeling experimental, maybe I'll do that on the stream. You'll be there for the boat. Awesome. All right, maybe I'll do it. Okay, let's. I'm trying to think of how I want to block out the wings here. Also, I need to say Ashley's another streamer on here. She streams Wednesday. I can never remember when you stream. Wednesdays. And she does amazing creatures and stylized characters. Fantastic stuff. So check out her stream. I need to check again. I need to say it. You always do it for me, Ash. So I'm very grateful. So, so you can go to ZBrush Live, and it's a good thing to remind me that I can tell people where to go. Not live Boolean. ZBrush Live. It always fills in Boolean because I've searched for it before. No, just ZBrush Live. So pixelogic.com/ZBrush Live, and you can actually watch the streams here. Voila, like this. And then you can go to presenters or schedule, and you can see when people are streaming. So Eamon was supposed to go this morning, but he was having internet troubles. And then me, and then Tomas is going tonight, and he will be talking about, most likely talking about jewelry. And then Ben, he is amazing, Polygon. He goes tomorrow. He does a lot of stylized characters like I do. You should catch him. And then Ara does fantastic hard surface stuff. And Ashley's right here. And then Steven Anderson is, he just barely started streaming with us. And he's doing like stylized scenes, like the whole scene and everything. It's really cool. So anyway, Ashley's going tomorrow at 3. So, or Wednesday at 3, sorry. So yeah, check out her stream. And if you want to watch any of the back streams, is that a thing? Back stream? You can go to presenters, and then you can see us right here and click on past broadcasts and schedule. Then if you scroll down, you can see all of our past streams. So there's a whole bunch of them. So check that out if you want to see more. So thanks for dropping by. You always remind me I need to, you know, pitch everybody. So it's always a pleasure to have you drop by. A neat auto bridge of insert multi-mesh limb on a tree. Oh, cool. Up Owl Night. That's a cool name. Yep, Michael Pavlovich too. Yep. Did I miss saying Michael Pavlovich? You don't even pitch everyone? Just sometimes I will. I don't usually either, but there's so many good artists on here. It's hard for me not to. Okay, so let's see. He's going to look like an airplane, I guess. Put his arms down like this, shoulders. Okay. Then I'll give him a thumb and a couple fingers, like 3 fingers. Because wings have thumbs, right? And sometimes I'll have them just flat, but it's so boring and stiff. No worries, Wicked. I'm glad you asked. This is by Mitch Leeuwe. So his name is spelled Leeuwe. So that's Mitch Leeuwe. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but yeah, he does amazing stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of great streamers. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to duplicate this. I'm just going to cheat. This is now my thumb. Whoop. Let's turn on local symmetry. Thanks, Neil. There you go, guys. Neil's gracious enough to post his links. It looks like a mitten. Bird mitten. Lion in Dutch. Oh, cool. Well, there you go. There you go. Oh, Tenchi, if I've chosen a black and white image for Creature Box, what do I do about the color? Just check out their other paintings or images and find a color scheme that you like and paint it up. Yeah, just go for it. Or you can leave it gray if you'd like. Doesn't matter. Okay, for these fingers, I'm going to block them in based on this like mitten shape. And then I'll pull the mitten back. Looks like a big fingernail now. Okay, let's see. And every time I duplicate, it keeps everything in the same poly group, which is a pain in the butt. So all you need to do is just hit auto group and it'll put everything in its own group like this. And then you can just hit mirror and weld and it'll put them in symmetrical groups. And now I can get back to doing what I was doing, which is duplicating this finger. And if you already have groups and you know that you're going to want this to be in its own group, what you can do is just invert the masking, like Control, click on the background like this, and then hit Control W, and it'll put that new piece in its own polygroup, which is kind of a shortcut. But then it'll also clear the mask, so you have to mask it again if you want it masked again. Hey, what's up, Lucky? If your model is full of gaps, the ref I'm using has a ton of mechanical pieces. Should I sculpt the whole thing piece by piece or combine all of them? Sculpt them piece by piece, and then just overlap the pieces so there aren't any gaps if you can help it. So, for example, when I was modeling the dinosaur with the saddle on the top, it had a blanket underneath the saddle. I modeled the blanket separately, I modeled the saddle separately, and obviously I modeled the cowboy separately. But what you want to do is make sure that it's airtight underneath that blanket. So from the blanket to the dinosaur was airtight. And then from the saddle to the blanket was airtight. And then from the cowboy's butt to the saddle, there's no space underneath there. So when you print it, it doesn't get these pockets of resin. That's what will happen, is you'll get these pockets of resin in there. So there's a lot of secondary forms like pipes and wires. Yeah, so what I would do is just take a look at, there's this, let me see if it's in here. Under projects, there's a light. I'm trying to remember, I think it's under demo projects. Yeah, this light right here and this mech right here. Just open up those. Those are models, I believe, done by Joseph Drust. And you can check those out and you can see how they're built and how many subtools there are. And I know that they announced during the ZBrush Summit that in the next version of ZBrush, they're going to have folders, which will help a ton with organization. But yeah, there hasn't been mention of when that's going to be out yet. So you can probably just start building it, and eventually, you know, the next version of ZBrush will come out and have folders to help you with the organization. So. But that's what I would do. I would leave everything as separate subtools as much as possible. I mean, you can keep them in the same subtools in different polygroups, but I wouldn't Dynamesh them together if that's what you're asking. I would not. Okay, let's see. So yeah, now that this is done, I'm just kind of pulling this hand back. And then I'm going to make some space between those fingers / feathers. Hey Juan, how you doing? Going pretty well, thanks. Yeah, so I embarrassed myself at the ZBrush Summit because I was so excited when they announced folders that I shouted folders. So if you watch that ZBrush Summit, the announce, and you hear somebody shout folders, that's me. It's me being a dummy. Being obnoxious. But hey, folders. Just trying to get it so there's space between these fingers. All right, Meberry, thanks for hanging out. Yay, 200 people. If you leave, Meberry, it's going to be 199. No guilt. No, thanks for hanging out. Okay, this is way too big. Folders to you. Yep, they're coming. Just know they're coming. I just don't know when. Now, topological and masking, they're not friends. So if you're using masking, I suggest turning off topological and vice versa. So you'll notice that when I have topological on, it's just kind of hard to grab the geometry that's underneath here. It's actually working now, but a lot of times it won't work very well. So just turn topological off and you'll have a better time trying to make that work. What's up, Worth? I didn't notice you. Sorry, man. How's it going? You count as 2. 201. You're right. So I'm looking at Restream chat, and it's showing 3 streams. So it shows Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch all at the same time, and then I believe it adds them all up. So between the 3, we have 201 people watching right now, which is awesome. Thanks, guys. Super cool. Not worthy. Yuri, that's correct. Yeah, it's a lot of people. Holy cow. 204 now. A lot of people. So I thank you again, everybody, for hanging out with me today. It means the world. Okay, there we go. Does that look like a feathered hand? Very skinny, feather fingers. Okay. Yes, Yuri, and I'm working on new training for my course to cover that. It's taking me forever. I apologize. I'm going to bend these fingers down. But it's coming. I'm starting with the head first in the course, like updating the mini bust course first. Talk about it there. Looking forward to start it. Yep, it'll be very soon. Okay. So let's do exactly that. I'm going to merge these together. Let me save this. Every time I like to save it. Before I do this. Okay. Merge. Remesh by union. So you can see what it did. It just essentially stitches all this stuff together. Then accept. Then remesh. ZRemesh. Hopefully it keeps the feet looking good. Let's go up to 5. Every time I add something new, I'll crank up the resolution of the ZRemesher. And I always forget to turn symmetry back on. Okay. Doesn't look bad. Then I'll smooth the transition. Oh, it looks like... So sometimes it'll have troubles between fingers like this. So I'm going to back out and separate these fingers a little bit more. And then push that hand in a little more. And then I'll push them together after the fact. So... Okay. I just want some space between these fingers. And between the thumb most of all. Honestly, I think for this thumb, I always like to put this thumb meat in there. See this pad right here? It just kind of helps with the anatomy of the hand. So let me, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm just going to inflate it. And then pull it in. So it just kind of breaks up that palm a little bit. Thumb meat at your local butcher. Okay, let's try that. Thumb meat is the best meat. There's also eye meat. Okay, let's try this again. What am I doing? Is that a better result? I think so. Accept it. And ZRemesh it. I always forget. Symmetry. Yep. You weren't fast enough. But I remembered. Okay, here we go. Yeah, gosh. Come on, symmetry, ZRemesher. I'm gonna try one more thing. What you can do is also ZRemesh this before you do union, like this. Because what that does is that evens out the topology and kind of gets it in the same realm of density. Yeah, start talking about thumb meat, peak density. Okay, here we go. Come on. Is that better? It's probably going to be the same or worse. I'll just have to work it. Work it, work it. Symmetry. I remembered. Okay, that's going to have to work, and then I'll just work it and then remesh it again. Because I'm going to have to remesh it for these shoulders anyway. See how they're kind of messed up? Smooth them on out. Get that flow happening. Can smooth this thumb meat out a bit and actually bring it out into the hand more. Okay, it's probably ruining my feet. No, they're pretty good. They're actually almost getting better. Okay, and then this isn't bad. Yeah, that's not bad. I'm just going to make them a little longer. Then smooth that out. And then make the thumb have a rounder shape instead of like that. Pull it out more. Oh, you did, Tenchi? Awesome. I love that movie. Oh my goodness. Love it. Make sure I didn't mask off any of his feet. Okay, now let's round that off. That just also helps the ZRemesher a little bit. Oh, you did? That's smart. All right, this thumb's looking weird. Weird thumb. Is it too thick? What's going on? Thumbs are hard. Not gonna lie. Thumbs are probably the most difficult thing that I have to build on every character. Turn it up like this. What's blurry? Okay, there we go. Transpose master, when I finish posing my mesh, it won't take me back to the high-res scope. There are several reasons why. One of the main ones is you need to have all of your subtools, make sure there's there isn't anything named the same. You can't have any subtools named the same as any other subtool. I guess unique subtool names is a simple way of saying it. And then you can't have any layers. So no layers on any of your subtools. And then make sure that's the only tool that you have loaded inside of ZBrush when you actually go into T-pose mesh. Make sure you don't have several copies of that character, because then it won't know which character to push to, if that makes sense. So just make sure you only have that single character loaded. Trying to think of another one. Layers is a big one. So, and before you pose anything, try and go down into, I call it down and up. Try and go down into T-pose master and then go back up right away before touching anything, and make sure that you can do it. Make sure you don't get any errors. And then it's a matter of, another thing is, make sure that each subtool, none of them are Dynamesh. Dynamesh doesn't work very well with T-pose. And make sure they have subdivision levels typically. So with all those things, that's kind of the magic to make it happen. So what's up, Pedro? How's it going, man? Okay. I'm going to put some color on this guy. He's going to look naked, but I don't think I'm going to have time to make his sweater today. So I'm just going to add some color to him just for fun. All right. Naked bird. Naked as a parrot bird. Now to eyedrop a color off of here, you have to have this circle open right here. And that you just make that appear by hitting Z. And then you want to eyedrop a medium tone, and the hotkey is C for that. So maybe this pink, maybe kind of purplish, right there maybe. There you go. Okay, let's turn to hard paint, and we're going to fill it. Then we'll grab the head, fill it, and then we'll grab this beak color and fill that. And then white. So I like to go not all the way white, somewhere in here, and fill the eyeball with that color, because it'll still look white. You don't want to go solid white. Okay, and then yeah, I'm gonna have to do the clothes probably next stream, and we'll pose him. Yep, never 100% black or white. Okay, I can make his tail feathers pretty quick. But before that, let's grab this and color his feet. All right, that's going to have to be good enough. Okay. And we'll give him eyebrows and stuff too. Let's see. I'm gonna grab this orange. So you can come in here and grab this darker orange and start to work the gradients in there. Even though he's pretty low resolution. Hold on, let me fix this. His mouth is bugging. He's got like this brr going on. There we go. Okay, and just grab the airbrush. And then you can just come in here. So gradients and fades, I guess that's the same thing. Gradients will work with low resolution meshes. So you don't have to have a high resolution mesh. It's like I got a warble under here. There we go. Anyway, you don't have to have high resolution to make gradients work. You just have to have high resolution to make really tight lines work. Like in these tight lines in the turtleneck, you would need a lot of resolution to make those work. All right. then we can do, and some of this is lighting, so I'm not going to put all that stuff in there, but have you found time to retopple your, oh, the actual warble? No, I haven't. I need to. I might even pay somebody to do it. I don't know. We'll see. Because I really want him retopped. This one might be difficult because we don't have enough resolution. But we might. Looks like feathers, kind of. Let's see what that geometry looks like. Yeah, there's not enough geometry there. Another thing you can do is you can turn on Sculptress Pro mode to get really tight lines. So if I turn Sculptress Pro mode on, but it's going to destroy your mesh. So that's kind of the handoff. Let's see. Sculptress Pro. Come on. There you go. So I'm going to show you what it's doing. See that? It adds a whole ton of geometry when you're using it. But it's not the best. So you kind of have to have more resolution anyway. Anyway. How did I sample color from my spotlight? You have to hit Z to turn on the ring. So the ring has to be showing. And then just hover over the image and hit C, like is in cat. And you can see all the colors change as I hover over all the colors. So you can get a nice, you know, whatever color you're looking for. And then just let go and then hit Z again, your ring will disappear. So we're at 200 perfectly right now, but don't worry about it. Dume Arts, it's going to be, I'm working on making it always open. And I'm working on some promotional stuff right now. So just, if you have downloaded my brushes and you're on my newsletter, just stay on my newsletter. I'm going to be sending out some emails soon, talking about upcoming enrollment very soon. So just be on the lookout for that. But it's not currently open right now, but it will be soon. But thanks for your interest. Yeah. I'm just using pinch. And we'll just fix that later on. Okay, let's see. Boom, boom. I'm just going to airbrush this in a little bit. Just airbrush some color, darker color in there. Yeah, I'll try to get it open soon for you guys. I'm just trying to get caught up from the holidays. And we also just added a brand new community to the course. It's awesome. So when I say a brand new community, and it's because Google Plus is shutting down. I used to have a Google Plus community. Well, I still do, but we're phasing that out. And I had to move my community over, and it's actually inside the course now. So I'm really excited because I have complete control. Like I can save the images out of there. You can't save images out of Google Plus. It's kind of weird. Anyway, I'm super excited about that. So, all right. Let's see. And it's not going to be too difficult to add the clothing here. I'll probably, instead of drawing on the topology, I'll probably block them out with a sphere. And I think I have time. Neil, you were asking about the eye thing. I'm just going to show you how to make it, and then I'll send it to you after. But how come the frowny face, Joe? Don't be sad. Okay, so I want to make this eye, this iris. Instead of building it out inside the eye, you can do an eye like several different ways. But one way I like to do it for stylized characters that have giant irises is I'll just build the iris on the surface of the eyeball like a disc instead of pushing it in like a real eye is built. That's nice for some characters. It just depends on what it's going to be used for. So for now, I'm just going to build that disc. So what I want to do is, let's see, I want to append a star. So it just puts a star here. Then that's a nice look for him. Anyway, because when I make a new primitive using the gear from the gizmo, it will replace whatever geometry is there. And since I don't care about a star, I just append a star, go to that star subtool. Now I can click the gear and go to this. There's two different spheres. There's Sphere 3D, which has poles, and there's Polysphere, which has 8 poles. It has 8 poles because it's essentially just a subdivided cube, just like the primitives that are in my primitive insert multi-mesh brush, okay? So we want to do a Sphere 3D, and you can see it's just, I'm going to solo it. And I'll turn this on. See how it has poles here? So I want to pull this out all the way because I'm just going to use this one end of it, right? And you can change the vertical subdivisions right here. I don't want too many. And then what you can do is actually pull this all the way like that if you want to. But now I have too many subdivisions. So now I can adjust, let's see, both the vertical, let's do 12. 12, that's 13, do 12, okay. Then, because 12 will put one on, one straight through the top and the bottom and one through the left and the right. Then I can adjust these to be about 3, something like that, okay. And then I'll just delete the back later. So then when you're done with this, all you have to do is go back to Gizmo 3D, and there it is. And I'm going to try group by normals. That's not going to work. Yeah, it worked for the most part. So group by normals will group things by their degree, their angle degree. But I think the center of this is not welded. So it made 4 polygroups, and that's not quite what I want. I just want this one off the back. So I'm gonna hide this like that. Yeah, it's being really weird because it's not welded in the center, so I'm gonna have to weld it. Anyway, I'm gonna hit delete hidden. Then I'm gonna hit mirror and weld to see if it actually welds it. Control W will actually put everything in its own polygroup. Looks like I'm having multiple faces going on, but I'm not sure. Let me see if I subdivide it like this. No, okay, we're good. So I just turned on dynamic subdivisions and it's working. So it's just having some Z fighting in the back for some reason. But typically that happens when you have 2 faces right on top of each other. So it shouldn't, but you never know. Anyway, okay, so I have this now, and I can turn it to one side and scale it down. Let's see, scale down to about the size of this, and just kind of try and get it to hover over the surface of that eye the best as I can. And I can also center, if I hold down Alt and I click on this icon, it's going to center the gizmo in the mass of whatever I have on my subtool. So then I can just use the gizmo to turn it and scale it and pull it out a little bit. I can also scale it in this direction if I want a little more peak in that iris. Okay. Then what I do is I'll crease the outer edges, because if I turn on dynamic subdivisions right now, it's going to actually shrink it, which I could leave it like that. But I typically like to crease the outer edge. So I'll just go to crease and hit crease. And you'll see it puts a crease around the outer edge right there. But it looks like it also creased. There's got to be something in here that's not welded. It's giving me, yeah, it's giving me grief. All right. Well, thanks. I don't know what's going on with this thing, but let's see. Yeah, it looks like I have multiple faces It does. It did make multiple faces for some reason. So I'm going to go into my Z modeler and see if I can delete this triangle face and see if I can get it to go away. Delete. Where are you? Delete. Delete. Oh, I'm on an edge. I need to be on face. It's going to be difficult because it's so small. Oh, man. Well, let's see if I can do it over here. Delete face. Single poly. Sorry, you get to watch me struggle. Yep. This is what I was talking about, Pedro. See this? I always get like to this point and I'm just like, God, this isn't working. I just want to delete that thing. Let's see if I can auto group, see what it does. It's probably not gonna, yeah. It's those two faces. See, that's working. I can't get this to go away. I would, but I can't delete it. It's not letting me delete it. So let me see if I can delete hidden. Whoops. Won't even hide it. There we go. Okay, let's try it. Hold on a second. I want to bring back this face because I need it. Okay, delete hidden. That worked. Fill holes. Where are you, fill holes? Close holes. There we go. Did that work? It did, but it filled the back. That's fine. All right. Let's try it again. Uncrease all. Looks good. We're good. We fixed it. Hooray. Oh, you're right, Jake. I forget about do nothing. Okay, let's see. I'm going to hit crease again. Oh, it still looks like I need to weld it. I just need to weld. I think there's some verts in the middle that aren't welded. Yeah, see how there's... If I smooth it, see there's extra faces in there. Yeah, gosh dang it. Wonder if I just... I know you guys wanted to watch me struggle. Delete hidden, close holes. It's your favorite tool? Okay. Just stitch 2 points. All right, and then delete edge. So how do I stitch these two together? Yes, yes, because I don't use the Z modeler very much at all. Anyway, I want to. So how do I select, or how do I want to run an edge along those. Let's see, stitch to midpoint, start point. I guess I can delete this and fill the hole. Maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, you guys, if you know, bridge, like bridge from one poly to the, or, okay, we'll try it. Bridge, 2 points. Okay. Yes. Thanks, Pedro. Thanks, Falu. Thank you, guys. Okay. Yay, bridge. All right. Oh my gosh. I'm going to pull this out just to bring it back to convex again. There we go. That works. Okay, let's get rid of the back again. All right. Could do it. Let's see if it'll do it now. Crease. Yes, it worked. Hey, what's up, Lay? How's it going? Okay. No, we got it. We got it. We got it. Let's do it. Yay. All right. Transpose edge loop. Wait. I want to slide it. Actually, I'm going to insert one. Like right about there. And slide this one. Right there. Yeah, Dan, right? That's what I would do. I was like, all right, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do that. Force myself. That's the first time I've used bridge between two vertices, so that's a first. That's good. Smear and weld this. Okay, I'm going to bring this up to the front and turn it. I don't know why I'm using my mouse. Okay. What's up, Mike? We'll conquer this. Stretch this out lengthwise. Bread product? Nice name. Yep, I'm just wrapping it up. I've been going for 2 hours now, so yeah, I'm gonna have to do the clothing probably next Monday. The matchmaker brush? No, I could, but I didn't this time because I actually want it to bulge out past. So it's basically acting like a cornea and a retina at the same time. I'm not building the eye out like I regularly would with a, you know, like a real character or whatever. So, okay. I'm actually going to apply so it has real subdivisions. Then I'm going to try and just quickly, I'm going over time here, but that's all right. Yep, 889 videos. Yeah, there's one or two. Yep, I go live every Monday at noon Pacific. Okay, or is that 11 Pacific? 11 Pacific, sorry. It's noon my time. I always get that confused. I'm an hour off. Okay. Subdivide a couple more times. $7 p.m. UK time? Is that where you're at, Neil? Okay. I'm just going to eyeball this one. I usually use edge loops, but today I'm just going to eyeball it. Eyeball it, get it? Eyeball it. I'm not going to put that dark ridge around there today. Okay, let's see. And toy plastic. See, toy plastic gets that nice little white highlight on there. So I'm going to fill it with a material. And then go back to Skin Shade 4. And it'll keep it just in the eye. Now it's all stretching in the iris. It's because I added that extra edge loop in there because I'm trying to rush. But typically you would just keep it like that and it'll keep that little white highlight on there and look nice. So start streaming at 7 p.m. UK time. It's good to know. All right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. Yeah, we're at 2:09, so I'm 9 minutes past when I usually go. No big deal. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me today. We've hovered around 200 people, which is fantastic. Thanks for sharing your Monday afternoon or evening, I guess, with me if it's evening for you. Anyway, if you want this user interface and my brushes, you can always get them for free over on my website at 3dcharacterworkshop.com. And I also teach an online course teaching you how to make stylized characters inside of ZBrush. And if you sign up for my brushes, you'll get on my newsletter. Then you will be notified when that becomes available to enroll in, which is very soon. So hop on that newsletter. And thanks again for hanging out with me. And we will see you again next Monday at, what is it, 11 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. UK time. So, all right, guys. Thanks again, Neil, for doing what you do. So take care, and we'll see you next week.